Under the Lights starts now.
Hello, East Texas, and welcome into Under the Lights. Dan Millay and Jimmy Searfoss with y'all. There it is.
5, baby.
Jimmy, five fist pounds because it was just another incredible week 5 here in East Texas.
Marking the halfway point on the season. Marked it
believe
with
that.
authority, baby.
Yeah,
with
sure
a
did.
big old stamp, big old fist bump.
Yeah, and one game that we are dying to know how it went. We haven't checked the score or anything. It's our game of the week, that 7-mile rivalry. So we'll send it out to our game of the week reporter, Damian Bartonik. Damian, a couple 4-0 teams getting together in this one. What did we see down at Troops Tiger Stadium?
Well, if you didn't know, it was a lot of running the football in this one. This game's already over. It ended about like 10 minutes ago. It started at 7:30, so it went really, really fast, and so did the lead for one team. It ballooned very, very fast. I'm not going to tell you the final score. Go ahead and take a look.
They've played one another since 1935, and tonight was another one for the history books as the 7-mile rivalry took center stage in Troop USA, and the home team struck first. Josh Childress takes the snap here and finds his man James Pierce on the deep ball for the tutty that puts Troop up 6-zip. Next drive for the Tigers, goal to go, and Childress hands it off to Brett Wells, and well, Brett scored 14-0 Troop after a successful 2-point conversion, and Troop was all over him defensively too. Zane Bork on the read option here, and he's met immediately by Caden Starkey for a loss of yards. Yet Arp was not going down without a fight. Running back Kaysen Bergens accelerates and weaves his way for the first down, and then his buddy Josh Smith says, I can do that too. Stays patient, bounces off tacklers for another first down, but ultimately they could not cash in on this drive as they ended the half down 14-0.
Well, the half ended at 14-0. The final score was 42-6. Okay, it was a beatdown. It was like bully beatdown. I don't know if y'all remember that show on MTV. Yeah, it was bully beatdown, man. It was really, really bad. That second half, Troop just ran the football over and over again, and then ultimately the play action pass opened up. You had a wheel route that went for a touchdown. You had a post later in the ball game that went for a touchdown. I mean, it was bully ball in that second half. And guess what? At 10:35 on CBS19 Plus, you're going to see my exclusive interview with QB1 of the Troop Tigers, Josh Childress. Hey, we talked about his stance. You saw in the highlights there. It was kind of hard for me to follow, man. That stance is something crazy, but broke it all down for you. Maybe you see me do it. Who knows? But with that said, guys, I'll send it back to you. Troop wins big, 42-6.
Wow, thank you so much, Damian. Man.
Crazy pull there with the bully beatdown. That's a deep cut.
That's a deep pull. That's a deep cut.
Hey,
We
shout out
appreciate
to
that.
Troop and Arp for making that as hard as possible for us. They basically got the same uniform on. They're right up the road from each other, and they basically have the same exact mascot. Hey, shout out to them. I guess we know exactly who's owning that Tigers name right now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Jimmy, take us to our site game. We got Grapeland at Overton.
Yeah, this one was a lot easier to tell who was who. Chester Royce Stadium, beautiful night on the green grass. Overton. And then it was Grapeland. It was all Grapeland early on. Sandys went up early on that pass. Then how about this one later? Over the shoulder catch. Kiwi Bruins. How about that one? For the first down and then some. Grapeland keeps the ball moving all the way to the goal line. Malik Johnson tuck it in and punch it, baby, into the end zone for the touchdown. Grapeland with a 2-score lead in the first quarter. Overton's offense struggling early. Brian Holloman says, I'm just going to do it myself. He hits the outside, just keeps on grunting. A lot of open, real grass ahead of him. None of that turf stuff before he gets wrestled out of bounds. Sets it up for the Mustangs from the red zone. I got a little turned around a little bit. Calls his own number again into the end zone and score for the first time the Mustangs in that half. Let's see that score. Pulled back a little bit. Grapeland jumped out to a pretty big lead there for a minute. Looks like Overton actually That's a final score. We're hearing that is actually the final score. Oh, there it is. The F has hit the scoreboard. Grapeland 37, Overton 27. Early games tonight, wrapping up.
Yeah, well, this one, a little less scoring in this next game here. White House hosting Mount Pleasant as we see the Wildcats rocking those Patrick Mahomes jerseys. They weren't playing like Mahomes, though, down 3-0 in the first. Going forward on 4th and 3, QB Austin Mahomes is sacked, and we are going the other way. Tigers with possession here in the second quarter now. Carter Cook lets it fly. Got a zebra in the way, but that was intercepted by Carmelo Perkins, though the Wildcats would not score. Finally, Mount Pleasant put into a drive together as Cook hits Emmanuel Harris over the middle, who gets rocked by a defender, but that's still a first down, folks. Tigers are going to go to the ground attack now. Tony Grant takes the handoff around the right side with eyes on the pylon, and it looked like he got in there, but refs ruled him down at the 1-yard line. So Grant tries again. This time it looks like he stuffed at the 1, but refs say he broke the play. All right, touchdown Tigers. Mount Pleasant now leads it 9-0. They're going to go for 2 here. Brandon McCoo goes head first into the pile, pushing, fighting, scraping, clawing, and eventually finding the end zone to put the Tigers up 11-0 with a couple minutes to go until halftime. Let's see where we ended up. Okay,
right.
More of the same. Yeah, that's about how that game was going. Mount Pleasant up 14-0 in the fourth quarter.
Defensive battle? We'll call it that. Defensive
A lot
battle.
of penalties. A lot of penalties.
Hey, how about taking you out to Longview here? Lobos Stadium hosting a special game. Gilmer Buckeyes and the 5A Brenham Cubs score tied at 7 in the middle of the second quarter. This one puts the Buckeyes on the move. Kason Brooks finds Brenton Mumphrey for a quick slant and the first down. But after that, the drive's going to stall overall. Go to 4th and 10 from the 25. Brooks get picked off. Carolyn Kelly. Brendan starts the drive at quarterback. Zirin Upshaw. Oh, yeah, it's not Brendan Girl. It's a different Brendan. Different Brendan. He's going to hit the man on the out route there towards the sideline. And then it's going to be C.J. Grover is going to make a great catch for the first down there. This one's just going to go scrambling towards the end zone. Brenham playing down a little bit. Gilmer's punching up here in the orange in the Lobos stadium there before Brenham, fights its way into the end zone for 7 here. Let's just see the final score here. 49-7. Gilmer's can't figure it out on offense, man. That's a tough one. That's tough. And Brenham's an undefeated team here.
Brenham's a great team, but you expect more from them.
Yeah, I expected a little more than 7.
Yeah, certainly. All right, let's head out to White Oak, where the Roughnecks are hosting Atlanta. We've been looking, I've been wanting to see some White Oak highlights. All right, first quarter, both teams looking strong on defense. Atlanta quarterback Braden Thompson hits Jaden Riley. Riley finds the hole, but can't get past the front line of the Roughnecks defense. Atlanta here, Braden launches to C.J. Wiley, shaking up the Roughnecks, breaks a couple tackles, and White Oak eventually takes him down, but that moves the chains. After Atlanta muffed the punt, it would put White Oak in good field position. Jackson Ludlow keeping the ball, but could not complete the run. Check this out. Jackson zigs and zags his way into the end zone for White Oak's first touchdown of the night. Good play there, young man. It's a coach's son. He knows how to play.
A lot of maroon on the field today.
You know, it's a lot of maroon in these highlights. Atlanta looking to answer back. Braden Thompson hands it off to C.J. Wiley. He stays on his feet, breaks up more tackles, and moves the chains for an Atlanta first down. And at the end of that first quarter, the Roughnecks led it 7-0. Let's see where we're at right now.
Wow. All right, Atlanta.
All right.
All right,
That's a comeback.
Atlanta's stacking together a few wins here. They picked up one up a few weeks ago. And then White Oak, that's a top 15 team.
Hey, well,
Yeah, look at that.
well, we're going to talk
Well,
movers
maybe
and
not.
shakers later.
Maybe not after this.
I'm going to check back in on that. But we got to take a quick break and check on some of our late news headlines. Here's Brennan Gurley.
Dan and Jimmy, tonight 2 Tyler residents are facing criminal charges after investigators say they scammed an elderly homeowner out of hundreds of dollars for chimney repairs that never happened. The Smith County Sheriff's Office says Stephen Gonzalez and Erica Salinas, right there on your screen, took $750 from the man after claiming parts were needed to fix his chimney, but the work never happened, and it turns out those parts weren't needed at all. The pair ran a business called ETX Chimney Sweep and stopped responding after taking the money. Both are now charged with theft from the elderly. Authorities say it's a reminder, always check credentials and never rely on unsolicited repair offers. The University of Texas at Tyler has officially opened its brand new School of Nursing building, a major step forward in meeting Texas's growing demand for nurses, especially in rural communities. Thanks to a $35 million investment from the UT System Board of Regents, the new building features expanded simulation labs, collaborative learning spaces, and updated facilities designed to prepare students for today's healthcare challenges. UT Tyler President Dr. Julie Billy says this investment is about much more than classrooms and equipment. It's an investment in the future of healthcare and the communities nurses serve.
We have state-of-the-art technology. We actually have a whole wing of this building that looks like a real hospital so that students can feel comfortable when they actually do get into the hospital system and they actually are taking care of a real human.
We need boots on the ground. We need healing, compassionate hands, people who can be leaders in healthcare, and we need them now. And UT Tyler understands that. So as they're investing in their students, they are investing in the entire profession of nursing. They're invested in healthcare. We're invested in families.
Reporting in the studio, I'm Brennan Gurley.
You know, Dan, I'm looking at this Atlanta schedule right now.
Sure.
I was wrong. I was completely sleeping on them. You know, they lost to Pleasant Grove week 1. Who hasn't? But this is their 4th straight win. They beat Hooks, New Boston, Mount Vernon, White Oak. And I'm looking at the rest of their schedule. There's easily 2 to 3 more wins, potentially even more than that coming up. They do play Jefferson, which that game is looking ever more interesting next week.
All eyes on Atlanta. Well, speaking of coming up, Jimmy, we got your player of the week after this. Somebody who scored more touchdowns than you could possibly believe. So stay with us. We'll see y'all in a minute.
Well, Dan, we've had a lot of players of the week. You've done a lot of great things here for us on CBS19. I mean, even in my lone year here, you've seen more than I have. But, dude, I've never seen anything like this before. Check this out.
CBS19 Sports Player of the Week, sponsored by East Texas Professional Credit Union.
If there was a fantasy football league for Texas high school football, you want Patrick Zutti on your team. The kid was responsible for 11 touchdowns and over 750 yards of offense in the Trinity School of Texas Titans' 130-96 win over Leverett's Chapel.
It's like playing rookie mode on Madden. Literally, like, end of the first quarter, one of our assistant coaches, he looked at me and was like, it's going to be a long game. It's going to go all 4 quarters, so just be ready.
Ready is an understatement. He was the biggest part of an offense that scored on every single possession.
Coach Barrow, he called it track mate, multiple track mates. That's what it was like.
And it didn't come down to some fancy scheme that got him into the end zone. Just pure primal desire.
With it being senior night, home game in front of our families, crowd, everything. Just knowing that we had a chance to do something great. That game's in the history books now. Like, I just wanted to win the game, knew I had to win the game. Like, it wasn't optional to me.
And with a performance like that, he's put the six-man TAPS Division I Trinity School of Texas Titans on the map in one of the biggest high school football towns in Texas.
The school's getting into it. Little kids are getting into it. Everyone thinks that we're like heroes and stuff. So I just hope that that continues. Like, they start to love the game like we do. As years go by, like, we'll build a better program, stronger program, make a name for ourselves, not just Longview High School, but people think about Trinity as a pretty good football school too.
And as for his future, you thought about playing football on the next level?
I thought about it. I'm more of a basketball guy though.
Respect.
Whoa.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, they would have needed another 100 points
some, you lose
for this one. Six-man football is a weird scoring game, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got all the points, and then sometimes the other guys have all of the points.
Yeah, well, Jimmy, this next game, this is one that we have our eyes on, and I'm curious to see where the score is at. We gotta
Rose
get the
Stadium, unbelievable happened here. You got to expect the unexpected here. There's 1 second left in the quarter, and it's Highland Park's ball. They're trying to put a Hail Mary here. At this point, playing hot potato just to keep the play going. They're trying to score, but in the middle of this, and trust me, we're not to the middle yet. There it is.
Oh, wow.
They fumble it. He tosses it to Markeithian Potts. He grabs the ball. He's going to take it all the way to the house, guys. Absolutely electric. Third quarter, now after some locker room celebration, Lions quarterback Caden Granberry to Kadarius McMiller. Remember the name, with an open pass, open field touchdown. Lions tie it up at 49. Next play. That's a field goal after a strong Highland Park defense later on in the game. Highland Park with the ball here. Buck Randall looking for somebody, anybody. That's not the right jersey. That's a Tyler Hyde jersey. Then he fumbles it.
Oh, my goodness.
But looks like Lions got the ball back there. Whoa.
Wow.
Tyler Hyde. How about a statement that would make? Tyler Hyde leading 66-63. Highland Park, one of the best teams in the state. What coach has been looking for those Tyler Hyde Lions to do is show some consistency. They hung with Lufkin last week. This would be the biggest game in the last 3 years for the Tyler Hyde Lions.
Hopefully they hold on. We're going to check in on a battle of the Indians here. Frankston looking to stay undefeated against Groveton. Frankston with the ball. Native Americans, Jimmy. Quarterback Carson Bazell is going to swing it out to A.J. Daniel, who's going to make one defender miss, try to make another, but too many bodies there for Donald to escape. First down, Frankston. Same drive. Frankston running that hurry-up offense. Bazell looking to pass. He's going to run instead. Nope, he's going to fling it. He finds Donnell in the end zone for 6. Frankston on top early, 6-0 after a Groveton 3-and-out. Frankston on offense again. Some confusion early on this play, but the handoff is to Braylon Donnell. There you go. He works towards the sidelines. He's got some good blocks downfield, plenty of open space. Watch out, cameraman, before getting dragged down inside the 30. Same series. Donnell again. He's going to get rocked here. Slides off a defender, takes another defender into the end zone with him, and he says, "Get off of me." Donnell's all over this Groveton defense. 2 missed field goals, though, so it's still just 12-0 Frankston at that point. And now they would keep on keeping on. They win it 58-7 over Groveton.
Yeah, Frankston is an undefeated team. Groveton is a very much defeated team.
Yep.
Next one, Grace Cougars and Tyler hosting the Brentwood Bears all the way from the Austin area tonight. That's a long car ride. Hopefully get sent home there with a disappointing trip. Started off an interception from Grace. Yep, that's not the right color there. A lot of blue jerseys getting thrown at while on defense tonight. Not exactly the right way to go about it. Justice McQuay with a nice handoff here to Brandon Alexander. Storms with the ball. That's a big old running back. You just got to hope that he goes out of bounds like that. And there's a duo again. McQuay handing it off to Alexander. Yeah, not much resistance there. Don't blame the defense, to be honest with you. Cougars for the extra point. But it's blocked by the Bears. Luke Weed taking it downfield. It's knocked out of bounds. Later on, though, Elijah Hicks is going to track him down. Save the extra 2 points. Second quarter now, Cougars with the ball. Here comes Justice McKay again. Around the corner with the ball. He's got some open room for him. Hugging the sidelines, walking the tightrope. Or he's going to go down around the 20. Here's your favorite duo again. McQuay to Alexander. Making it look easy. Going right into the end zone. How about for 2 this time? Let's just not worry about get all those extra points and everything like that. We'll just make it easy, fake them out, go into the extra point, the 2-point conversion. Let's see the score here. Grace looking to bounce back. Yeah, there's a 33-14 win. There's that long car ride home I was talking about.
Yeah, so that's a tough long car ride home for all the way to Austin for Brentwood Christian. Well, thanks for playing. Anyway, let's find out what the weather's going to look like for this weekend and beyond. Here's Jamie Hazard.
Hi, East Texas. Here's a look at your Saturday patio forecast. So noon, 82 degrees, and then 2 and 4 p.m., 86. So it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. As you can see, our Saturday temps at 8 a.m., we're going to be in those 60s. And then in the afternoon, we're going to be at those 80s. And then all the way at 10:30 p.m. tomorrow night, we're going to hit those 70s. And then on to Sunday, in the morning, you are going to be back in those low 60s and upper 50s. And then, as you can see, our high temperatures for the week, we are going to be in those 80s. So 87, 86, and 89 degrees. So it's going to feel warm, but it's much nicer than normal. And then our lows, we're going to be in the 60s for now. And then, as you can see, Hurricane Humberto is moving towards the Carolinas, so we are keeping an eye out for that. And then a look at our 3-day forecast. So Saturday, 87 and mostly sunny, Sunday, 87 and mostly sunny, and Monday, 86 and partly cloudy with lows in the 60s. I'm Jamie Hazard with your 3-day forecast.
Thank you so much, Jamie Hazard. Jimmy, some great highlights right there. I'm glad to see Grace get back into the win column, but the good news for the people is we got even more after.
Oh, I can't wait. And we're going to need to have another update on that Tyler High game. I need to see how that one ends.
Don't go anywhere, y'all. We'll see you after this. Hello, East Texas. Welcome back into Under the Lights. Dan Millay and Jimmy Searfoss with y'all guiding through the latest and greatest from East Texas football here in Week 5. I'm excited about all these games. Let's just put that out there. But there's one in this next panel of 3 that I'm particularly excited about. But first, we got to go to Hawkins and Union Grove. And over at Union Grove, they are hosting Hawkins. There you go. Picking it up in the third quarter. Eli Smith scouts the field. Eli Snyder's deep downfield, twisting his way for the catch and eventually breaking a tackle, finds the end zone for a Hawkins touchdown. That could be a top play.
It could be a top play.
Union Grove here. Bryson Porter fakes the handoff, finds an out, but is taken down by Robert Williams. Not the NBA player. Bryson Porter here again, and he pushes his way into the end zone for a Lion touchdown. So we're going back and forth, folks. It's a ball game. Eli Smith looking to retaliate, takes his time, feeling the pressure, so he keeps the ball, but he's taken down by Bryson Porter, playing on both sides of the football. How do you do? It's 21-12 at the end of the third quarter with Union Grove up, and they hang on to narrowly take that game 21-20 over Hawkins.
On a grass field.
on a grass field.
Oh, this is a good one. Lindale, Chapel Hill taking the field after 34-14 at halftime. Lindale leading. Lindale with the ball. David Lindig, quarterback, keeper. Big run for the first down. We've seen him do it time and time again. Lindig calling his own number. Starts to cut across the back four, getting taken down. Look at this again. Lindig, I'm going to do it myself. 41-14 over Chapel Hill right now is where that is. Where he gets, he got cut off just short there. But man, look at that. How about this, the onside kick? It looks like the Chapel Hill fielded just fine. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. I'm just gonna go ahead and house this one, baby.
Would you say he's doing a little of this and a little of that?
He's doing a little of this, he's doing a little bit of that. Take me to the goal line. Quarterback, keeper. Quarterback's getting it done, man. Quarterback's getting it done. Lindig on his own, looking deep. Caught over the shoulder.
Beautiful.
Easy, gorgeous pass. Glendale leads this one 48-28 at that point in that ball game. Oh
my word.
My. Tell me who saw this coming.
Lindale's legit, folks.
Lindale just proven they're legit week after week after week. They can hang with anybody.
That is legitness.
They're moving up to that third spot. Easy.
Ooh, okay, all right. We got to go over to Palestine, hosting Henderson, where the Wildcats are facing a hot Lions team who's won 3 straight. We're going to pick things up in the second quarter. Henderson's Justin Sterling gets the handoff here, finds a hole, weaves around a blocker, gets a whole lot of room in front of him, trips over his own blocker, and then eventually brought down inside Wildcat territory. Lions unable to punch it in on that drive, though, after a Palestine turnover on down. Sterling again, this time getting the direct snap, dodges a Wildcat defender. He'll walk in for a 10-yard Henderson touchdown. They lead it big, 36-14. Now, under a minute left to go before the half. Wildcats trying to make something happen. Noah Hutchinson looking to pass through the hands of his receiver. Tip drill, that's Eric Garza with the interception. Makes one man miss. Will he go all the way? No. Brought down out of bounds just inside the Palestine 10-yard line. Following that interception, though, hang on here. Hang on. Blake Meeks is going to fake the give. He's got crosshairs on Lamarion Coleman, who opens and throws a strike. Coleman breaks a tackle, goes in untouched. 2 scores before the half. Puts the Lions up 43-14 at the break.
A lot of Wildcat being run against the Wildcats there.
Yeah, and the Lions, well, I guess I was kind of wondering, in the Wilds, Lion versus Wildcat.
Yeah, I think the bigger cat wins there, and definitely looks like that is the case here. 67-31 over Palestine. Henderson just keeps on rolling, man. How about that? How about that? Meeks getting it done.
Meeks getting it done. It's the Meeks dynasty over in Henderson. But folks, we talked about Lindale possibly moving up on those rankings. We'll tell you a little bit more about that and some more movers and shakers we could see when we return.
Well, we talk about the Fab 15 all the time here on CBS 19, so let's talk about some of the bigger movers. It's been a great week of football, great day of football so far, and the Fab 15 has seen some teams that might be going up and down right here. Let's kick it off with Atlanta, and you might notice they weren't on the Fab 15, but this is their 4th win in a row. Tell me that they deserve to be on there. Atlanta, where the players play. That's their 4th straight after dropping the opening game to Pleasant Grove. You love to see a team that we honestly haven't talked a lot about making some moves. We're going to have to go out and see them.
Yeah, and they got stomped in that first game against Pleasant Grove, so to come back the way they have, really, really impressive. But another team that has just been so impressive this year, it's Lindale, folks. They're 5-0 now. They beat Chapel Hill tonight. They beat Gilmer earlier in the year, and the Buckeyes have been stumbling, but that's still a good win. And they've been led all along by David Lindig, as we see him pick up a big game right here. He has been on his game all season long. Coach Chris Cochran talked about how he's one of the best leaders he has ever coached. He had such high praise for this kid. He's getting it done on the sidelines in the locker room, and he's certainly getting it done on the field. And again, 5-0 for Lindale. How about that start?
You know what? It's not like they're playing bad teams either. They went toe-to-toe with Van. They beat them. They beat Mount Pleasant, and they beat Chapel Hill, easily their best game. They're at 4. They're definitely moving up to 3 now, sitting behind Kilgore and Carthage. And we haven't even heard the big-time names that are on that team that are making the difference. That D-line, you know, Bud Walker out there, Emilian Johnson, the running back. Those guys are difference makers, and we just haven't seen their names in the highlights because Lindig's getting it done in his junior year. He's taken such a big step forward. And Cochran said, hey, you know, my team's getting older, they're getting more experience, and it's showing on the record.
Absolutely. But folks, as we get close to the end of the show, we got to talk future plans, as in where our Under the Lights kickoff show will be next week. Drum roll, please. We're heading to ARP. They're hosting Buffalo. So a little Tiger versus Buffalo action. Join us next Friday at 6:30 for our Under the Lights kickoff show. But you can join us in just a couple minutes on CBS 19 Plus, where we have another half hour of highlights. We'll see y'all there. Hello, East Texas and CBS19 Plus subscribers. Welcome into Under the Lights Late Night Edition. Dan Millay and Jimmy Searfoss with y'all. Folks, week 5 of high school football season has just about come and gone. I've said it a couple of times, but I just can't believe we're halfway through the season.
Yeah, you know, it's been a good 5 weeks so far, and we got a week 5 that's been handing us some crazy games that are still happening right now.
Yeah.
We're going to get an update on that Highland Park game. You know, we got some of the other games, Pine Tree, Kilgore. Oh, that's going to be a good one. And Chapel Hill, Lindale, we got another highlights from there too. Let's get to it. I'm fired up. This is our game of the week, though.
Yeah.
We still have this one. They've played one another since 1935. Tonight was another one for the history books. 7-mile rivalry. Center stage, Troop USA. Both teams maroon. Both teams Tigers. Making this one difficult for the cameraman. Josh Childress takes the snap, finds his man James Pierce on the deep ball. The tutty puts Troop up 6-zip. Baby, look at the replay. Right in the hands. Here, next play for the Tigers. Goal to go. Childress hands it off. Brett Wells. And Wells scored there. 14-0 Troop after the 2-pointer. Troop was all over him defensively, though. Check out that hit. Zane Bork met immediately at the line of scrimmage. Here's Arp not going down without a fight, though. Hands it off to Kaysen Bergens. Hits the acceleration button. Weaves his way to a first down. A little bit more. Here's his buddy, Josh Smith. I can do that too, baby! Puts the stiff arm out. Hits a few buttons. Spins. Falls down. Catches himself, though. Pops back up. And this next play, a little bit more of the same, though. Bork hands it off, doesn't go super far. Let's just see that final score here, because that one got way out of hand very fast. Troop 42, ARP 6. 7-mile rivalry. There's about 7 miles between ARP's score and Troop's score in that one. Troop evens the record back up. They were down by 1 in the all-time series, 39-40-1. This time, it's all tied up. Next year, it's going to be for the winner. We actually have an interview from our Damian Bartonik with one of those good old Troop players, those legit Troop players. Damian, tell us what you got.
Damian Bartonik here with none other than Troop signal caller Josh Childress. Man, what a game, baby. I came out to practice earlier this week. Your teammates and yourself told me this was the statement you wanted to make, 42-6. How good does it feel?
And it feels great. I think we definitely had a really good week of practice to come out here and put numbers up like this, and we couldn't have game planned much any better.
Not only that, man, you guys executed. In my opinion, my favorite throw of the night was that post to number 5 later in the second half. Beautiful ball, man. You had another one right up the rail. I believe it was either on the slot fade or the wheel route before that, man. Tell me a little bit about just the guys you're throwing to, and also what makes you that confident to just throw them balls all the way down the field like that, man?
Well, I know I got some good receivers, and they're going to get the ball. And right before that post, I was like, listen, man, run as fast as you can, and I'm about to throw it as far as I can.
Yeah.
And then that wheel route, I didn't really think much of it. I mean, I was like, hey, he's wide open. We just throw it at him, and he's going to catch it, and he's going to make a play.
Well, he made a play, made a little spin move, got into the end zone. 2 more for you, man. 5-0. Hey, how good does that feel, baby?
It feels great. I think we kind of expected coming into the season that with how experienced we are, we probably knew that we're going to be 5-0, and we're going to keep this train going.
Yeah. All right, my last one for you, man. Step back. Let me see this stance. Show everyone at home this stance. Look at this stance. Look at this stance. Okay. Now, what's the cadence? What is the cadence? Is it?
It's set, clap.
Okay, set, clap. Okay, I'm gonna try it here. You hold the mic. I'm gonna get a little bit closer to the camera here, and then I'm gonna do the stance. You tell me what you think. Okay. All right, like that. And you said it's set, clap. All right. Set.
I think you could be the quarterback.
That could be the Troop Rock. You think I could be a Troop Tiger?
You can be a Troop.
Oh boy, I love it. Hey man, well thank you once again for the time.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic performance, baby. And hey man, 5-0. Hey, 6-0 might be right around the corner.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Love it.
I'm so going to make fun of him for popping a squat. I don't know when he gets back. But hey, man, Damien went out to Troop earlier before the season got started. They said, hey, dude, we are tired of being kind of paper champions, you know, where our record's really good, and then we go out and play someone legit, and, you know, we lose. It looks like this year is
They are that legit team.
year. They are the legit ones. It's all flipped. They're legitness.
They're legitness.
Tell us about Lindale.
Yeah, speaking of legitness, Lindale and Chapel Hill taking the field here, and Lindale's already up 34-14 at this point. Lindale with the ball here. David Lindig is the quarterback. He'll keep it. Big run for a first down. Lindig calling his own number on this play, and he's going to do it one more time, cutting back across the field, and then runs away from the defense. Get off me, he says. Get away. Run away into the end zone. That makes it 41-14, people. Ensuing kickoff. Lindale kicks it short. So Dadrian Darden fields it and takes off, but he's going to be stopped just short of the end zone right there. Oh, he almost
looks like he got
in, but I guess they said he didn't. All right, Bulldogs Joshua Castaneda keeps it for the touchdown here, so that makes it 41-21 Eagles. Bulldogs shortening that lead a little bit. Lindig back to pass here. Caden Fowler on the run, makes the catch all the way into the end zone. 48-21 Eagles. Bulldogs would answer back a little bit later on. They're still fighting. They're still barking. It's Castaneda again carrying it just short, or for the short yard touchdown, and that made it 48-28. High-scoring game, but that's all the scoring Chapel Hill did. Lindale kept it rolling. And once again, Lindale 5-0, 64-28 here over Chapel Hill.
I'd hate to play tag with Lindig, dude.
Oh.
That would be like the worst thing.
For flag football?
Oh,
He's
my
probably unbelievable
gosh.
at that.
Yes, dude. He's not a fan of him on the playground. Take me to R.E. St. John Stadium. Kilgore Bulldogs having a blast taking on Pine Tree. The Pirates looking to get in and get a win here. Down 35-0. Pine Tree looking to move the ball a little bit. Quarterback Colton Croft toss it to Tony Anderson for a first down there. A couple plays later. Croft again. Drops back. Toss quarterback in East Texas, baby. Finds his receiver over the middle of the field. It's Boston Johnson. Hauls it in for the first down at the end of the fourth quarter. Toss it anywhere on the field if he wants. Croft drops back, loads it up. Big guns, hits his man to Johnson again for the first down, and a lot more yards than the last few in the Bulldog territory. This drive stalls. Pirates go for it on fourth down. Quarterback tosses it in the end zone. This time, wrong uniform again. We've seen a lot of interceptions tonight.
A lot of interceptions.
Interesting that we haven't seen a Kilgore highlight here. 35. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Here we go. Casey Brooks takes the snap, drops back.
Hello.
Little hesitate. Rolls out to his right, touches, runs. I'm just going to go ahead after the first down there. Oh, wow.
All right.
Hey, you know what? That could have been worse. We've seen Kilgore unload on some people. 35-7. Not the worst thing we've seen.
They took care of business early and then kind of took the rest of the game out, which I don't blame them.
District games.
It's a physical sport. You got to get your rest when you can. All right, we're at Chester Roy Stadium. A beautiful night on that beautiful real grass. And we talked about in pregame. Sean Walker heels it in for the touchdown on the first drive to put the Sandies up early. There he is over the shoulder. And that was actually PV Bruins with the over-the-shoulder catch. First down and more on the goal line. Malik Johnson tuck it and punch it into the end zone for the Tutty Grapeland with a 2-score lead. Now, Overton offense struggling a bit early. Ryan Hollerman decides, I'm just going to take it myself. He hits the outside, keeps on moving, finds some open grass ahead of him before eventually getting wrestled out of bounds, but it sets up the Mustangs in the red zone. Hollerman calls his number again, takes it into the end zone for the first score of the half for the Mustangs, and he hits him with a, let's go!
He was very excited.
Overton falls 37-27. Grapeland gets some revenge, although Grapeland did win their playoff matchup. So I guess
they did. This one, they're getting their regular season revenge.
Yes.
Last year, Overton beat them in the regular season. Hey, Overton made it a game in the end, though. Hey, how about Rose Stadium? This one is trying to keep up here.
Yeah,
you got to expect the unexpected. This was with 1 second left in the half. They're trying to make something happen here, so they're trying to play hot potato, a little razzle-dazzle action, instead of maybe the Hail Mary. So they're just scooting it to the guy behind them. But in the middle of one of them, and this happens every once in a while, they lose the ball. Markeithian Potts grabs it. He's going to take it to the house. Absolute worst case scenario. Because at this point in the game, Highland Park was up by quite a bit. Take me to the third quarter. Some locker room celebration. Lions got momentum. Granberry to Kadarius McMiller. Pass into the open field. That's all he needs for the touchdown. This ties him up at 49. Next drive. Lions go for the field goal after strong Highland Park defense Highland Park with the ball here. Buck Randall looking for someone, anyone. That's not the right guy. That's Braylon Ford with the interception. Almost lost it. Almost disaster. That'll do for the third quarter, though. Oh,
Wow.
they were this close.
Rats.
Tyler High has been so close so many times. This team is ready to start winning. They just got to finish. That's an absolute heartbreaker. 70-66 against one of the best in 5A. Can't hang your head on it, but man, that would have been the landmark win for the Rashawn Woods era in Tyler High.
Yeah, can't be too disappointed, but, talking to Coach Woods in preseason, he told me, we lost a bunch of games last year by one possession, one score. We got to, work on the little things, the consistency to not, stop that trend.
And another thing from, I was talking about that Lufkin game, and I was talking about him the game before that. They played a big opponent, and he said, look, there's no moral wins. At the end of the day, we didn't win that game.
Yeah.
No matter how great on the scoreboard or how the box office or the box score looked, we didn't win that game, and that's really starting to get to those Tyler Lions. But, there's still a lot of time left in the season to turn it around and make a playoff.
Yep, there's still plenty of time here in our show. We got some highlights from deep East Texas after the break, so don't go anywhere.
All right, welcome back to CBS19 Under the Lights After Hours. Dan Millay, Jimmy Searfoss. We're having a good time as we move later into the evening here. We still got a lot of highlights here. Stick with us. Let's get into them. Let's go to Van. Big rivalry game. Vandals and the Brownsboro Bears. That one didn't roll off the tongue.
I like that logo.
You like the logo?
I like both these helmets.
Yeah, pretty original. Got to respect the original helmet. First offensive play of the game. Van with the ball. Rowley Hinch. Look at the hair.
Oh,
Gosh,
yes.
I love to see this kid's hair
yeah.
flowing in the wind, especially when it's going into that white end zone. Van takes a 62-yarder. Make it 7-0. When you pop out one play, why not some trickery? The kicker gets it himself,
Wow.
Alex Aceves. Oh my goodness, the Pat McAfee play. Oh my gosh. Van looking to add to the lead. Hinch hands it off to Quavion Williams. Up the middle for the touchdown run. Van 14-0. Brownsboro looking to calm Van down. Bears, Adam Thompson flushed out of the pocket, goes into the backfield, just hurls it.
Let it fly.
Someone's down there. Not the right team, though. Here we go. There's Hinch again. gives it to Williams. Untouched up the middle, 38 yards. Run this time. This is going to go as time expires in the first quarter. Van and a lot of control here, 21-0. It looks like he needs a breather here.
It's a nice first quarter.
Van, 57, Brownsboro, 18. Yeah, I had to think that maybe you saw this one coming. Van's a very good football team.
Yeah, it's been a tough season for Brownsboro, and it's been a good season for Van. So like you said, I think we did see this coming. But let's go back out to Longview Stadium. They're hosting a special game between Gilmer and Brenham. Score is tied at 7 in the middle of the second quarter. But the Buckeyes are on the move as quarterback Kason Brooks finds Brenton Mumphrey for the quick slant and first down. Drive stalls, though. They would go for it on 4th and 10 from the 25, but Brooks gets picked off by Trilon Kelly. Brenham starts the drive in a little bit. We got to check the cheerleaders first. All right, quarterback Zyron Upshaw lets it fly to C.J. Glover, who makes a great catch for the first down. Later on in the drive, going for it on 4th down at the 6-yard line. 4th and 1, quarterback Upshaw does the delayed draw, finds a hole, and gets the first down. So move those chains. Next play, it is Upshaw again, this time crossing the goal line for the touchdown. Extra point would be good. The Cubs jump in front 14-7 at halftime, and it didn't get a whole lot better for the Buckeyes. Brenham comes to town and beats down Gilmer, 49-7.
I believe that was Zayd Taylor over at quarterback for Gilmer there. But yeah, tough one out there for Gilmer. Take me out to the first quarter here. Lake Christian, New Boston. New Boston getting their prayer on early on. Kason Campbell intercepts a Lake County pass, returns it into Deep Eagles territory. I don't know about that one.
Something happened.
There, this might be it. There it is. And nope, that's still not an interception. Looks like we got some issues here. But the New Boston get to connect with Will Campbell on the first touchdown of the night later on. New Boston looks like it was a lot of New Boston in this one. Let me see the final score here. Get to it. New Boston 49, Lake County Christian 0. Yeah, tough night to go for Lake County Christian.
Pitching a shutout.
Country Christian, sorry.
New Boston, not to be confused with Old Boston.
Yeah.
All right, we got Texas High at Hallsville here in just a moment. Okay, all right, they liked their chances tonight against a winless Hallsville team. Tigers start fast. Long drive opening possession is capped off with an Ahmad Moore touchdown scamper. Tigers take a 6-0 lead, score on the first drive of the game, and then nothing until the closing minutes of the first half. Cameron Reitner swinging it out to Shavonte Montgomery. Some nice moves there to move the chains, and then Reitner off the play fake finds Xavier Powell in the end zone. They score on their first and last drives of the first half, and they lead it 13-0 as they head into the locker room. Third quarter now, starting to wake up a bit. A bubble screen for Powell, and he turns on the Jets. Look at this young man go. That's another touchdown for the Tigers. And as you may have guessed, Texas High did beat Hallsville. Final score there, 26-3.
This one was a little closer earlier on. Hallsville hung with them for a second there. Texas High pulling out there, hoping to recover after dropping down in the rankings a little bit. Tell me about Marshall, though. Pleasant Grove and Sunnyvale. This was Marshall was off, so this is later on. 4A Division II, Pleasant Grove lost to Kilgore last week. Traveled to unbeaten Sunnyvale, who bounced Gilmer last year in the playoffs. I was at that game. Nick Bells for 6 in that first play there. Hawks 7-0, then a quick 3-and-out on the Hawks. On the attack again, Colton Yancey pump fakes, fires it to Walker Wright. He's got the first down and a lot more there. Past the 30. A few plays later, the connection works again. If it ain't broke, baby. Yancey Wright, touchdown. Pleasant Grove takes a 14-0 lead. Looks like they had an injury on the play there. Sunnyvale gets a field goal. Flip the field now for the second quarter. Hawks threatening. Wow. Yancey to the end zone again. Jamarion Richardson with a heck of a grab there, man.
And a heck of a handshake.
Ooh, goodness. Yeah, Sunnyvale's no slouch of a team. They can throw it out there. But Pleasant Grove takes care of business 42-30.
All right, we got Gladewater and Jefferson here with We got Jefferson hosting, and that's a scary Bulldog. That's some intimidation right off the bat here. Bulldog defense stepping up first. Achilles has throwing on the run. He's picked off, though, by Lamarion Douglas, and Douglas is going to take that all the way to the house. Pick six puts the Bulldogs up early. You got to celebrate after a play like that. Still in the first quarter here, the Bears defense is going to make a play. Chance Washington looks deep, but Destin Sheridan comes down with the INT. Nothing going to happen on the ensuing drive. So Jefferson threatening in the second. This time Washington's pass is on target to Travis Gray Jr., and that puts the Bulldogs up 14-0. Later on, Jefferson in the red zone again. Here we go. Jacoby Morrow on the carry. He's going to find pay dirt to extend that lead to 21-0. Jefferson is a good team, folks. But the Bears get a little drive going to close out the half. Here's Jeremiah Flanagan fighting his way into the end zone. Not going down without a fight. Let's see that score. Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
That's a great win for Gladewater. They come back and win it 28-27.
Making a name to move back up after sliding down a little bit on that Fat 15. Jefferson, it's his second loss of the year, at least, second loss of the year. Gladewater making a name for themselves, earlier on in the season. Take me to Maybank, though. We got Thursday night shootout between the Spring Hill and Grandview. The Zebras, how about the Zebra inflatable? Goodness, love it. Panthers strike first, though. Coleman Stout takes the handoff all the way to the crib. On the other side, though, he's popped squats, chilled out in the end zone there. Zebras galloping. 6'2" running back, Blue Hubbard on the reverse. Yeah, I wouldn't want to tackle that guy either. It's going to let him rumble into the end zone for the touchdown. We're all tied up at 7 apiece here. I told y'all this was a shootout. Spring Hill punching right back. Brody Proctor slings it to Travis Allen. Picks up the first down and more before being forced out of bounds. Folks, this kid Allen could catch it. He could run it too. He's got everything in that bag. He's going to find the end zone here. The slick fake puts Spring Hill back up 14-7. Still in the first quarter, people. No? Remember that. Zebras back to work. Mason Landers hits Brady Slinkard with the screen pass. Slinkard moves. He grooves his way to the house. We're all tied up at 14. Panthers go back to the aerial assault. Brody Proctor flies to Carson Copeland, who hauls it in and casually forward somersaults for the Selly. He's going to jump up ahead here. Proctor airs it out to Brand Rumfield. He's going to rumble into the end zone. Slight bobble on the catch there. Junior holds on to it. Spring Hill score. That could be top play material for today. Grandview unimpressed though. Elijah Dominguez finds the outside edge. He's just going to go all the way to the sideline. Zebras fake it off here to the goal line. Mason Landers takes it himself. We're all tied up 21-21. And just the first quarter. 42 points there in that first quarter. Grandview, though, squeaks this one out 63-55 over Spring Hill. Big offensive play there from the Zebras. We learned the zebra noise yesterday, too.
Yeah, we did. I'll tell you what, though, I was at that game, and that was a strong showing from Spring Hill. They came into that game 1-3. Grandview was 3-1, so you didn't expect it to be all that close, but I mean, you saw that first quarter.
Oh, yeah, that was some action, man. You love to see that.
Action. A little different from the game I was at tonight. But, folks, we got one more little nugget of wisdom here for y'all, and that wisdom is this week's top play. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, East Texas. It's y'all's favorite time of the night. It's my favorite time of the night. It's time for some top plays. And Jamie, we're going to start out with a battle of the Native Americans here. Frankston and Groveton. Frankston offense with some confusion early on in this play. Hands it off to Braylon Donnell. He works towards the sidelines. Got some good blocks downfield. Lots of open space. Look out, cameraman. Eventually dragged down inside the 30 for a big gain as the Indians go on to win it, the Frankston Indians.
Second quarter, and this one, Cougars with the ball. Here comes Justin McKay. Around the corner, he's going to go off and just hit the gas hard. Taking it all the way upfield before getting dragged down around the 20.
All right, how about that 7-mile rivalry here? Josh Childress taking the snap, finding James Pierce on the deep ball for the tutty, and that put Troop up 6-zip, a part of their big win. And we heard him talking with Damian Bartonic. He said, run as far as you can, I'm going to throw it as far as I can, and it worked out.
Hey, man, this one was impressive. This kid is so good. Under a minute left to go in this one for Palestine. Wildcats try to make something happen, and tip drill, Noah Hutchinson looking for the pass. That one is going to go into the hands of the Henderson Lions. Eric Garza with the ball. Interception, baby. Makes one man miss, another one, and he goes into the end zone. Pick 6 for the Henderson Lions.
And then, folks, our final top play, what else could it possibly be? It's Highland Park and Tyler High. And we got Highland Park trying to make something happen here at the end of the first half. We're running, we're throwing laterals. Everything's going really well. Everything's going great. He got a little careless with the ball, though. 2 hands, young man, and stripped. And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Who we got? I'm sorry. Here we go. Marquini
Potts, baby.
All the way to the end zone. However, we talked about it. Tyler High eventually would lose this one by a narrow margin, but a great showing from Tyler High and an incredible top play to round us out tonight.
Goodness gracious. They should have won that one.
I wanted it. I wanted it. What can I say?
Highland Park in my whole high school going back in the day, we always used to want to beat Highland Park. That was the team you want to beat. We did.
Disappointed on multiple levels.
Yeah, I always, it's always the team that I want to see, in a competitive game.
Right. Of course. All right, we got to look back at all the scores from all the games on a very busy night of Beast Texas football. There's a lot of scores to get to. Let's talk about it. Troop destroys ARP in that 7-mile rivalry, 42-6. Grapeland downs Overton in our site game, 37-27. Mount Pleasant rolls over White House, 21-zip. And here's that Highland Park Tyler High. It was a shootout. The Park takes it 70-66. Lindale, they are legitness. 64-28 over Chapel Hill. Kilgore downs Pine Tree, 35-7. It's been a rough go for the Pirates this year. Van demolishes Brownsboro, 57-18. Look at all these high-scoring games. My word, Henderson downs Palestine, 67-31.
Hey, Timmy, the other ones. Let's see it. Oh, is this all of them? Is all of our scores from there?
No, we got, this is a...
Completely different. I blinked. My bad. Atlanta beats White Oak. We'll see them in the top 15 here soon. Brentwood Christian loses to Grays. Hawkins just barely loses to Union Grove, 21-20. Groveton gets beat up pretty bad by the Frankston Indians there. Tatum beats Sabine pretty good. Lake Country Christian lays an egg against New Boston. Texas High beats on Hallsville. Pleasant Grove takes it over Sunnyvale.
A couple more here because, again, folks, so many games to talk about.
Oh, my, yes.
We're still in the fourth quarter. Tyler Legacy as they're losing big to Rockwall Heath. Brenham, we saw it. Man, Gilmer just cannot get it right so far this year. That Tyler Legacy game has gone final. That's breaking news, folks, so they lose that one. Gilmer loses as well. Brook Hill, dang, they lost big too to Austin Regents, 56-14.
It's a good team, though. That's a good team.
And then to absolutely nobody's surprise, Carthage destroys Jasper, 42-zip.
Not a point. Wow.
No. Yeah, talk about laying an egg.
Yeah, week 5, man.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, that was a lot of stuff. That was a lot of football.
But yeah.
Can't wait to do it again.
Can't wait to do it again, and thank you all so much for joining us here on Under the Lights on CBS19 Plus. And hey, we got 5 weeks down, 5 to go. We'll see y'all next week.
And playoffs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.